Hi everyone, I'm Nifemi, your VP Welfare, and welcome to S.H.A.G Week podcast. I'm here with our SU President, Lily Ray.
Hi guys!
And we're going to be going through the survey results, and this podcast going to be talking all things sex and relationships. Because that's what S.H.A.G Week's all about.
And I have not seen any of this, so all reactions are going to be real and authentic, and hopefully there'll be some juicy stuff in here that will get me going.
I read through some of them, and I can say we are in for a bit of a whirlwind.
Okay, well, let's see how much I accidentally expose myself during this.
Well, one thing I found very interesting is for the second year in a row, we had more females fill out the survey than males.
Okay, well, that could be the female to male ratio at this university.
And we know that some people choose this uni for the female to male ratio.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. If you tuned into the rebellion, you know who we're talking about.
Yeah. But I would say, out of those that filled in the survey, 54.8% are single.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's rough out here.
Yeah, I said to Nifemi earlier, it's slim picking sometimes, isn't it? Especially at uni, because I don't think anyone's ready to be official or at least serious, you know? There's too much option.
There is. But also, 8.3% said situationship / it's complicated.
Yeah, but I just don't believe in situationships.
Do you not?
No. If how is it a situationship? Either they want to be in a relationship with you or they don't. It's a hard truth, but situationship was created for people who don't want to hear the truth.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so friends with benefits, would you say they're...
That's not situationship. That's choosing to have sex and keep a
Oh.
friendship. Situationship to me, kind of, the insinuation is that, you know, oh, it's like I'm kind of seeing someone, but they're not quite sure yet. That's what people always say. They're like, oh, I'm not sure. Like, we've been going on dates and we are sleeping together, but there's always a but, you know? And the but means you're not in a relationship and you're single.
Yeah.
And if you're not exclusive, then you're single. But if you're exclusive, then surely it's a relationship. There's just a lack of respect. That's my piece. Sorry.
Ooh.
That's my piece. I don't believe in situationships.
Fair play.
Sorry to anyone that might have hurt. If you were sugarcoating something going on with someone.
I was going to say, less than 5 minutes in and we've already made some people upset here.
I'm sorry, guys. I only speak the truth and nothing but the truth.
Okay, so I also asked people how many sexual partners have they had.
Mm-hmm.
So 29.8% have had 1 to 3 sexual partners.
Oh, wow.
But our second highest figure, with 26.2%, more than 10 sexual partners.
That's such a wild contrast.
Yeah. We've gone from 1 to 3 to more than 10.
Yeah. And then 0's in 4th.
Yeah. 0 is in 4th.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
1 to 3. That's pretty good though.
Yeah.
Like that's an interest. I think like for university students, that is actually pretty good because I mean, like we said earlier, there's so much option. That, I mean, you've seen people after a Fed.
Oh, people move mad at a
people
Fed.
Move mad. That's interesting. But then you've got the more than 10 that kind of takes two different sides of the spectrum, doesn't it?
That's true. I mean, our first topic is all about emotional cheating and physical cheating.
Okay.
So I asked people, what's worse, emotional cheating or physical cheating? What would you say, in your opinion, do you think?
Emotional.
Emotional. Well, I'll let you know, 56% of people agreed with you there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry, but like, I know it sounds bad. I feel like as much as someone physically cheating on me, like, just so hurtful, obviously, and it changes the dynamic of a relationship, I think you can get over physical cheating. Too easier than emotional. Because how are you telling me, like, if it's emotional cheating, then that's going on for a consistent amount of time. Like, but physical cheating could just be like you were drunk and got with someone. I wouldn't want to. I'm not endorsing this. It's more forgivable than emotional.
I don't know. It's like, to be fair, I think both are bad.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously. I mean, in my view, I'm like, I think I could forgive you having a strong emotional connection to someone else. Because, you know, I have that with some of, like, my male friends, some of my female friends. So I can see how you can get that confused. Physical cheating, I don't see how in any way, like, you sleeping with someone, like, did you slip and trip over in their vagina or something? Like, no. Like, I can't forgive that. There's no excuse for that.
No. Well, to be fair, I couldn't forgive either.
Yeah.
But if we're going off of what is worse, I just think emotional cheating because, I mean, at the core of everything, you need to love me, because I'm sorry, when we're old and nothing's working anymore, the love and the emotion is what holds you together. That's the glue. So, I don't know, like, physical, it's like, and I think, like, not everyone is meant to be monogamous. I don't think some people are inclined that way, and I don't know if that's, like, kind of an evolutionary thing, a nature kind of nurture thing. I don't know. But emotional, like, come on, like, if you're emotionally invested in someone else, you need to be upfront about that. I mean, if you're, like, cheating on me, like, 20 times in a week, that's different, obviously. But for me here, I'm talking about either you've emotionally cheated on me with one person or physically cheated on me with one person. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
So, I don't know, anything to add on that?
No, I think that's fair. I mean, both of them would have me crying on the floor.
Oh, absolutely. Both of them would have me having to hold my hands behind my back. No endorsement of violence. No. That's why they're behind my back.
Get the hoops out.
Girl, take my hoops out. Yeah, but no, I don't think I could forgive anyone for either, because that's absolutely heart-wrenching. I don't think anyone should forgive anyone for either, but I mean, we hear about it all the time, like, from our friends' parents and stuff like that. They get to their 50s and they're all having affairs. Like, it's so consistent, and it just makes me wonder, is this something we should expect?
No, like, I think it's almost sad if it's something you're expecting to get cheated on. Right. Because then, you know, there's a flaw in that relationship. Yeah, it's difficult. That's why this is, like, my thing. I try to keep friends around me with good relationships, because it holds my standards high for other things. Because if you're only around, like, your friends who are getting treated badly, when someone finally treats you well, you're like, oh my god, like, this is weird.
He asked me on a date, like, the bare minimum, and you're like, wow, oh my god, he texts me back, wow.
Oh my gosh, he didn't try and sleep with me on the first date. Wow.
Oh my god, he's not flirting with other girls. Wow. But like, when you've got friends who are like, yeah, he's left me in red for a week, when someone replies to you within 24 hours, you're like, oh, brilliant. Yeah. I've scored the jackpot. And that's just
wait, really? You've just got the bare minimum there.
Exactly. But then I've got, like, friends whose, like, boyfriends / fiancés, because we're at that age now. Oh. And they treat them so well, and it's raised my standards so high, and they're like brothers to me now, and they're like, Lily, do not put up with that. That's bare minimum. Do you think I go above and beyond? They can go above and beyond. I'm like, yes.
Exactly.
Period.
Never settle for the bare minimum, anyone.
Surround yourself with people with high standards, and yours will grow too.
I like that. Okay. So, what I also ask people, would you have sex on your period, / if your partner was on the period? 61.9% of people said yes.
I mean, is it that deep?
It's an extra lubrication, I guess, in a way.
It makes it finish sooner.
Yeah, that's true. It helps with period cramps, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Cosmopolitan said it helps with period cramps.
Wow. See, do you know what? I've just had my first period for, like, the first time in 5 years this week. Like, and I forgot how it felt. Oh my god, boy, I was in bed Saturday morning crying. Like, I felt like a man with man flu. I was just like, Mum, I've got cramps. Like, wow, I forgot how bad they were. Yeah. So, the cramps, that scares me, though, because when I've got cramps, babes, I don't want anyone to touch me. Like, don't even touch my skin. Don't even put your hand near me. Like, so sensitive when I'm on my period. So, but equally, when it's, like, not the roughest part of your period, why not?
Yeah, like, you know, the last few days or, like, the start.
Stick a towel down.
Yeah. You know? I mean, I suppose, like, this would be if you're in a relationship, you know. I couldn't see, like, a one-night stand. If you're on a period and you're one-night stand still wanting to have period sex, I think that's a red flag.
Have you ever lied about not being on your period, but you was on your period when you had sex?
No, I'm, like, full-on honest, because, like, period sex to me is a big, like, it's a bit gross, so I'm very honest, like, I'm on a period right now, like, nothing's gonna happen. Yeah.
I have lied.
Really?
When I was coming off, and, like, yeah.
Okay, I suppose if you're, like, coming off, like, last day, it's hardly...
Oh my gosh, there's blood? What?
Oh my gosh, there's blood?
Oh.
Where'd that come from?
That must have been you.
Yeah, it must have been you.
Should go to the doctors for that. I mean, I don't think there's anything that bad. But do you know what I've heard? And I guess it depends on your perspective. But apparently it forms a soul tie. Have you heard about that?
No.
So if you have sex with someone whilst you're on your period, apparently that forms a spiritual connection between you and the partner. So it's why they recommend to never have period sex with a situationship, which I don't believe in. So your partner that you're sleeping with. They say to only do it with someone you're serious with, because apparently that forms a spiritual bond that then means that your souls are tied. Especially if you do it on full moon. Apparently that's like, whoa.
Surely, though, having sex with anyone sort of forms a bit of a...
Well, that's where there's probably a little bit of, like, cause and causation. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because I feel like you if you have sex with someone, you have a really deep connection.
Yeah, well, not for everyone.
Not for everyone.
No.
No, but I'd at least have to really like someone.
Yeah, but then, like, you've got people in such toxic relationships, you know? And that's why they say, like, if it's not, like, where it should be, they say just be careful who you have period sex with. I mean, I don't really know if I believe in this, but words of wisdom from the internet.
Don't have period sex with situationship on a full moon.
No.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. That's your VP welfare and SG President's advice for all your situationships. And I guess if you're a man, the same goes for you. Stay away when they're on their period. If you don't want anything serious, stay away. Don't let the horniness get the better of you.
That is true. Oh, gosh. So, I asked people, do you consistently use protection? So, the highest response was always, which I'm quite proud about. But it was only 27% of people. 21% of people said, it depends. And that's what concerns me a bit. Though one of the free text comments did say, we're lesbians.
Okay.
But that means you don't need protection because you won't get pregnant. But you could still get an STI.
I guess, to be fair, reading this question, I wouldn't read it as contraceptives. I'd only read it as the physical barriers. And to be honest, the idea of dental dams freak me out. Since I learned about that in sex education, like, I just don't understand it. Like, I remember them holding one up to their mouth and me just being like, what is that? Kind of looks like, what did it look like?
It's like a stretchy piece of cloth, but like, yeah, we found one. So I was going through the S.H.A.G Week box in the office the other day, and we found a dental dam, and it was myself, Ian, VC Experience, Gilly, VP Community Engagement, and Joe, VP Education, and we're all just like, what is this?
It's kind of like a piece of meat.
Yeah, to everyone in the room, this is the first time any of us have seen dental dam. So you can just imagine, like, what went on. Because we were all just like, it's so stretchy. It was like, it was purple. It was like grape flavoured.
There needs to be a business for this. Like, I'm not being funny. Like, get dental dams with Hello Kitty, like, decals on them. I'm sorry, lesbians would love it. I'm sorry, like, all of my lesbian friends would love that. Like, they love Hello Kitty. Or, like, anything similar, like, you know. Get things that are niche. Like, you can target your audience. I reckon people would buy that just for the commodity. And then you're promoting safe sex.
I mean, I suppose that could work. That is a great business idea.
Right, okay, sure. Essex Startups. I'm starting a dental dam business with you. There is another VP. Who is it?
It's Is it Liv at UEA?
I don't know what she's
VP Activities at UEA. Shout out to Liv.
Shout out to Liv from UEA. In her gap year, she set up a sex toy business and sold it for like a good amount of money from what I know. I know it went well. So, I mean, following in your steps, Liv, I'm going to start my business now.
Stabs and sex toys go hand in hand.
No, sorry, I say stabs, it's student leaders and sex toys.
Student leaders and sex toys.
Not student leader Sizzler anymore. What could we name a sex toy?
I
don't even know.
Oh, wow.
I mean, the student experience title is good. That one's going away, I guess.
Maybe. Wow, do you know what? I've got an interesting question, because this was a previous S.H.A.G Week podcast that Dorothy Zamira did. Okay. What would each student leader role be as a sex position?
Definitely cowgirl.
Do you reckon?
President, yeah.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
As a woman, cowgirl. I guess as a man, missionary. Because, like, you know, it's about being in the position of power, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
You know, like, cowgirl, you're on top, you know, you're doing the business. missionary. They're like grabbing, you know, like I feel like that's like taking control of the wheels, steering the journey. Yeah.
Okay.
Any top position basically for president.
Okay.
I
love that we've got very different answers.
What would you say for president?
No, see, I do love Samira's one. Like she said, say? Doggy, because presidents get a lot of shit from behind.
Oh no, that's what I meant. Sorry, for if it was a man, yeah, doggy. Yeah, I get confused in my sex positions. I don't know.
Do we need a diagram?
I just don't understand like when people like just list off these really niche sex positions. I'm like, why do you even know a name for this?
There was one that someone said the other week when I saw my S.H.A.G week stuff. They said the helicopter, and I was like,
the helicopter. Like, what even is that?
I don't know, but like, you think helicopter? I just think of a person swinging their penis around. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Right.
But no, I think
BB welfare.
I think it'll be something like caring and loving,
like giving head.
Sensual. Right, giving head is not caring. Like, no.
Is it not nice? Like, you're giving and not expecting back. I mean, you just give. You give to the community.
Community head sucker. Okay. I was going to say something along the lines of, like, spoon. You know what I mean?
Oh, like a spoon, the sex position.
Yeah.
Spooning. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I think something like sensual, caring, very intimate. Head is not intimate.
Okay. Education.
Something boring.
I'd say abstinence.
Yeah, abstinence.
Abstinence isn't boring. It's a choice.
It is.
But in this case, abstinence. I don't know.
BP student experience. I feel like there's going to be something like adventurous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to say an orgy, but that's just like.
Or it's be adventurous or something like down and dirty or straightforward. Maybe that would be head.
Yeah. Okay. Are we going to bother doing VP community engagement?
Nah.
It's over now. Bye. Okay, brilliant.
Okay. So I asked people if they've ever been tested for a STD. And the majority of people said no.
Ever?
Yep. 51.2%.
We're going to be like the Scandinavian countries at this rate.
I've never been tested for an STD, guys. Guys, like, let's be real here. At uni, like, this is a breeding ground for STDs.
It irritates me because I talk to people and they're like, yeah, but I don't sleep with dirty people. And I'm like, firstly, that's such a stigma to say that, like, an STD can be dirty because that can come through, like, cheating. It can come through in many different ways. People can be born with it. But it's just like, yeah, but I hate this rhetoric from men. They'll say, like, I've slept with, like, let's say 30 plus girls. Let's just ballpark it. Even 10. Who cares? And then they'll say that, yeah, but every person I've slept with is clean. I'm like, girl, how do you know they're clean?
Exactly.
And
people
also,
lie.
they might all be clean. It takes one of them to make you dirty. And now, dirty, not that I do think it's dirty, but in their words, you know? I'm like, you can't say that. They're like, yeah, but I sleep with girls that don't sleep with lots of guys. And I'm like, but you sleep around.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And plus, like, there's so many STIs that, like, you don't have symptoms for.
Yeah.
And you could be passing them around to other people without knowing.
Exactly.
Get tested, guys. It's very easy to as well.
Exactly. And do you know what's, like, really scary as well is that no doctors now routinely test for herpes because they say that it's, like, so common and most people are asymptomatic. They don't bother. Which is so scary. Like, if you don't ask to be tested and you don't have symptoms, that is probably spreading around the UK like crazy right now. Yeah.
I remember, like, at the start of this year, just before freshers, I got an email from it was like the government sexual health department saying, warning that chlamydia is spreading in universities. And I was like, it's time to get out the free condoms again.
Get out. Oh my god.
Wrap it up, guys.
Wrap it up, please. Because, like, you just don't want to have that awkward conversation where you've got to text someone and be like, hey, by the way, I know we broke up really badly, but I've actually given you something. Like, or maybe you did, but you still have to text. Like, that's awful.
Yeah. And also, you don't want to be on antibiotics because you can't drink on them. Think of the amount of feds without alcohol. And you know how dead a fed is with like, sober. I've done a few sober in this role and it's dead.
Oh God. They also say HIV is on the rise right now as well.
Yeah.
That's why Keir Starmer did a HIV test publicly the other day, which is quite scary.
Yeah.
Considering there's now like PrEP and stuff like that. That would be an interesting question to ask. How many of our students are on PrEP?
And how many people actually know what PrEP is? Because I know like a few of my friends who are gay didn't actually learn about PrEP until they learned back from their first partners who were a bit older. Because when you think about sex education in school, it's very like
it's
heterosexual,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so scary. Goodness. Yeah, that would be an interesting question to find out and cross it with like the sexuality section.
That'd be good. Oh, I know we touched on this earlier with situationships. Do you believe friends with benefits work?
Personally, no.
Okay.
I think I don't know if it's a personal thing, but I always used to think it would work. But it never does for me. I always end up in a relationship. I mean, it never is friends with benefits because, but that's because I wouldn't sleep with someone I didn't have like legitimate interest in. You know, like I wouldn't do that. So I think for me, friends with benefits would never work just because I would never just want to. I get feelings, man.
She's a lover girl.
I'm a lover girl. Like I can't. Like, and I also think sex is such an intimate thing, and it does confuse the brain, especially like as a woman. I think like once you have sex with someone, things just become complicated. Especially like we're just talking about STDs. You know, there's a certain level of respect you have to have with someone to sleep with them, because then if they're sleeping around and not respecting your personal health by like not protecting themselves, I think that can be like really dodgy as well with the friends with benefits, because if that causes any issues. However, some people love it, so I can't judge.
Definitely. I think so. Like, I'm a strong believer that it can work because like friends with benefits works if there's a reason why you can't date them. So there's something about them that gives you the ick where they can never be your man or your woman. Then it can work. And sometimes you just need someone to scratch that itch. Like, that sounds so bad.
I love that expression.
It's like, to be fair, I actually no. So, I'm a strong believer it works. However, it's never worked for me. Like, Lily has that situation talking before. Like, someone always catches feelings in those situations. If it's not you, it's most likely them.
I feel like there's always someone who's got the upper hand. Which is why I think someone always inevitably will catch feelings, because I think when someone has the upper hand, it kind of confuses the other person, especially having the attraction to that. Like, I don't know, I think that I feel like I've always had,
I think also you've got to ask yourself, why are you friends with benefits and not in a relationship?
And for real, if I've got, if I don't want to be in a relationship with you, get away from me.
Yeah.
Because at that point I've got the ick anyway. Like, I just... And also, I'm such a personality person. Like, if your personality is not it, get in bed.
Yeah.
A la poubelle. Have you seen that TikTok? This personality shit. A la poubelle.
Oh, speaking of, like, personality, is sexual compatibility the most important thing in a relationship?
It's important.
I wouldn't say the most important.
I do think it's the most important.
Because let's be real, like, the first time you sleep with someone is going to be awkward. Yeah. It's going to be awkward. It's not going to be that great, you know, but if you still like them, dates are going well, you know, you're going to try. Second time, most people say, that was great, a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, personally, I've got to like you in the first place. So the first part is your personality and my general attraction to you as a person before we even get onto sexual compatibility. I mean, I guess if you're someone who has very specific needs, it would be a top priority. I guess maybe if someone's waiting till marriage as well, like, in that way you're kind of not compatible if you're waiting because you've got different desires. But I don't think it's the most important thing.
No.
And people can change.
Yeah. Like, I definitely think it's important, but not the most important. Because, like you were saying earlier, when you're old, nothing works the same, you know, like...
Exactly.
You need other things.
Exactly. And I think, like, the important part of that is if you have a real need that isn't too, like, it is not, like, putting the other person in a weird position that they don't want to be in. The other person can be understanding of your needs and try and, like, lean into that or improve, then that's just growth, you know? Not everyone's had the same sexual experiences, so might not like the same things, but might grow too because they like you. That's
very true.
Wisdom.
With age does come wisdom.
Not that I've ever had sex. I'm a virgin, guys. Like, I'm waiting till marriage. That's a lie.
Okay. Should people discuss their body count with their partner?
We've had this discussion.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah. Like,
what is defined by partner here?
See, I think the main thing is, like, why are they asking?
Yes, the context.
If you're asking to, like, slut shame someone, get in the bin.
Yeah.
No. But if you're asking for, like, health reasons or just curiosity, you know?
Yeah.
But if you're asking to shame someone, like, fuck off.
No, but I will say I find it really difficult to know my partner's body count sometimes. Especially, like, the raw honesty of it. Because, for one, like, I can't help but then start adding up, like, this person, who have I missed? Like, do you know what I mean? If I know some of the people they've slept with, like, that freaks me out. But, yeah, I think, like, but at the same time, like, you wouldn't, who's that lovely young lady who sleeps with 1,000 people in a day?
Blue something, named,
I'm finding it.
Yeah, but literally, that video, was insane.
Woman.
I've not seen the video, but I saw the YouTube video that Josh Peters did on it, because I literally was like, as if someone's sleeping with 100 people a day. And literally, she, like, some men flew in from different places to sleep with her.
Bonnie Blue.
Bonnie Blue. Some men flew in from different places to sleep with her. 100 men in a day. Oh, God.
Honestly. And do you know what? It's not just on her. It's also the men that partook, in my opinion, as well. Like, they've engaged in that activity. However, would I date someone who had done that in the past? Absolutely not.
I've been one of the men or slept with
either, to be honest. But I think that's my own morals and values. But I think that's why you should, like, this is where sexual compatibility, I guess, comes in. Because frankly, if, like, someone told me that they'd ever slept with a prostitute, or I guess she is in some ways a prostitute, or engaged in that kind of behaviour,
she is an OnlyFans person. Yeah. But what if someone what if someone had previously slept with a porn star?
Were they a porn star at the time, and was it because they were in the porn, or did, like...
So one of my girls was dating someone, and after the breakup found out that they were a porn star. Yeah. Yeah.
Did they sleep with people whilst they were together?
Allegedly not, but still, it makes you question, like, with the body count.
How were they making money in that
time?
with
the body count question, it does make you think, like, what if someone was to say a really high? What if someone was like, everything you looked for in a person, they were to say a very high number, what would be going on in your head?
I'd want to give them a chance if they were really maybe the right person, but I think I'd always feel kind of inadequate, and I think that would cause issues through my own insecurities, and I think that would be a lot for me to get past, and I think that would manifest into a lot of problems. So... as much as I'd like to give them the chance, like, knowing myself, being self-aware, that would keep me up at night.
Yeah, like, I'm an insecure girly. Yeah. Like, I would compare myself, especially if I knew, like, I know you shouldn't.
I'd be, like, looking it up, like, under the covers at, like, 1 a.m, like, like, oh, no. That would really freak me out.
No. I couldn't.
Yeah, but I think in a non-misogynistic way, I think it's okay. I think there's often, like, this, I mean, like, asking someone their body count on the first date, I think is misogynistic.
Yeah.
I don't see why there ever should be a reason. I think it's a conversation you should have once you trust one another more. Yeah, I mean... Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 41.7% of people said yes. 23.8% of people said no. And 32.1% of people said other.
Okay, what's other? I need to know.
I know. When I look at some of the other answers, it's stuff like, it is useful to know, but not a should. I don't think it should matter. Only if they're comfortable. You don't have to, but I think it'll be good. Maybe. It depends if they want to or not. It can be good to know how much more experience someone has, but you don't have to. Personally, it's not a big thing for me, but if my partner wanted to, I would.
Interesting. I think they're pretty fair.
Yeah.
And I think, like, that experience thing as well is kind of important. I mean, honestly, I'm often not so interested in the body count. I'm often more interested in the age they lost their virginity. I think it often says a lot about someone's sexual preferences and the way they are as a person.
Do you reckon?
I've noticed it, yeah. I would say so. Like, men who lost their virginity a lot younger, like, at an age where they should not have been having sex and should have been being a child. And I guess the same for women. There's a much higher hypersexualization and a much more dependency on sex, and also that sexual compatibility. Like, sex is the top in the relationship for them. And also a sense of boredom, because where they had sex at such a young age, they engaged in a lot more, like, different kinks and fetishes, to the point where they're now outdone them, they're bored, and it's looking for even crazier things. And it's kind of like, for a partner to have to, who's got very little sexual experience, to walk into that and lust it at an age that would probably be appropriate, that's a very difficult incompatibility, I think.
But I also think as well, like, for example, some people who maybe, like, say if your partner hasn't lost it and you are the one that they lose it to, quite frankly you can find, because one of my friends going through this at the moment, quite frankly you can find that they're suddenly going through their horny phase, and suddenly there's new world of sex is open to them, and they want it all the time.
And they're like, girl!
Yeah, they're ready, they want it all the time, because they've discovered how great sex is, you know.
It's interesting, a lot of students at this university do come as virgins and don't lose their virginity till first, second year. I think that's an interesting question we should actually ask. A lot of friends have ended up sleeping with someone and found out they were a virgin afterwards or just before, which they found difficult because they kind of wish that was disclosed, because they weren't expecting it, and also it puts a lot of pressure, I presume.
Do you think, though?
I've never slept with a virgin, so I wouldn't know how I'd feel, but I think I definitely feel like I was supposed to be some kind of expert.
Yeah. I think my biggest fear is sleeping with a virgin.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like I feel whether or not it's good or bad, everyone always remembers their first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like your first time does shape you a lot. So it's quite a bit of pressure, but I know people have lied about not being virgins when they have been.
Yeah, that definitely happens a lot at this uni, from like what my friends have told me.
And I think people just lied about their body count in general.
Oh, yeah. Like, I literally know one person who goes around telling people they've slept with one person. And frankly, I know. I know. Like, you've told me. And it's like, you know, you hear them, I've only slept with one person. And you're like, girl, what do you mean? Do you mean this week? Like, no.
Yeah, I think you can always, like, round down slightly.
Yeah.
But not, like, for example, if your body count's over 20, you're not going around saying there's 3. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And I think you can exclude, like, you know, people who didn't bother to, like, make you come.
Oh,
to be honest.
I want to know how many females their body counts would drastically change if they excluded.
It's a bit like 75% decrease in the body count of women.
if you
in straight women.
If you remove those who didn't make you come. Interesting. Okay. Whilst we're speaking of sex, I ask people, what's the most awkward thing to ever happen to you during sex?
Okay. Let's go.
There are quite a few interesting...
What? Oh my god, sorry, I misread this. It says he put on an episode of the Pokemon anime on while balls deep in my mouth. I read that as they put the Pokemon ball in their mouth.
No.
Like as a gag.
No. Like, I'm sorry, but if someone's giving you head and you switch on the TV, bite it off. Actually, no, don't take my advice, but like...
VP Welfare, you heard it here. She's telling you to bite off men's penises.
But how rude can you be?
Oh my god.
It's Pokemon anime while someone's giving you head. No. That's, I fell off. There's a lot of, oh, his whole family heard a shag.
Do you know what? I think, like, that's pretty mortifying, but it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. Like, you see it in the movies. Like, I think it's bound to happen to most people.
Oh, yeah. Like, you're bound to hear someone says. There's a lot of, like, farted, queef.
My ex's dog farted mixed shag, and he stopped to shout at it.
Okay.
It's not the dog farting, it's the shouting at it.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, girl.
He put my foot in his mouth whilst we were having sex. I
feel like that's something you should kind of maybe...
discuss before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of farted as I came. That's so interesting. Normalize it.
Oh.
Did we read the same one?
What one did you read?
My first ever partner came immediately on entry.
Yeah,
that's the virgin
that's
one.
Awkward.
Bless. It happens.
It happens though, and it's like really awkward, but like it happens. Oh. She queefed. Fake orgasm. Farted. Queefing.
How do you fake an orgasm as a guy?
Yeah. Do you just fake sounds? No.
But there's no cum.
Yeah. There's a lot of getting caught by other people. Broke 4 condoms in 7 minutes.
Bloody hell, get better condoms.
Yeah. They are expensive nowadays, but...
No, he rubbed my leg thinking it hit the spot.
Accidentally punched his jaw while switching positions.
Oh my god.
I've accidentally kneed someone while switching positions once.
Poo on my willy.
I nearly vomited, poo on my willy, queefed during it. They stopped to look at the mirror and do their hair.
Can I be so real?
Have you done that? No,
I submitted that.
That was you!
Yeah, that happened to me. The second ever person I slept with. And I was confused. I had been in a 5-year relationship where everything was, sunshine and rainbows, great guy. And then suddenly I'm like, what the hell?
They just stopped.
Did you do that hair?
No, stop it.
They love themselves.
My best mate walked in.
Happens.
Came on my period and freaked out. Broke a toilet seat.
I know someone who likes having their head dunked into the toilet during sex.
I mean, each their own. Whatever does it for you,
But it was in a conversation where we were very shocked. Bless.
Do you know what? I thought this will come out more, but no one's really said the wrong name. But I know that's probably a fear people have, but the fact that no one here has done it proves that... Have you actually done that? You said the wrong name.
Yeah, we never spoke about it.
Okay.
That was bad. I mean, they were similar sounding.
Okay. Was it an ex's name, though?
Yeah, I was still in love with my ex at the time, and I was very drunk, so... Yeah. Poor guy.
Alright. I think, and the last question I'll ask people is, what is a relationship red flag?
Has an STD,
Yeah.
Amen. Do we have...
We've got some 5 more minutes.
Okay.
They don't care about politics. Oh, when you have sex and they roll over and go on their phone, aftercare is a requirement. Yes.
Absolutely.
Strong belief in that. mouth breathing. So when I went down to Loughton a few weeks ago, I got into, some Loughton students got into a very big argument over mouth breathing.
Oh, is this like in the day?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's so difficult though, because that's, you know,
They can't
people
help
have
it.
like deviated septums and stuff like that, so it's not everyone's problem. It looks like there's a lot more ways to improve that now though.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, if they're rude to the women in their life, e.g. their mum or their nan.
My mum always says this. She says, particularly a guy with sisters is such a green flag, typically. Obviously, not always. But she's always like, look at how they treat their mum. Like, my mum, anytime I say to my mum I'm talking to a guy, she's like, what's their relationship like with their mum?
There's a lot of guy best friends, girl best friends here. Like, all throughout. There's a lot of female best friends, girl best friends.
I refuse to believe I dated someone who used to make out with their roommate in front of me.
I'm a bit worried.
I was concerned myself when I look back on this.
Yeah, this is what we were saying earlier about, like,
roommates.
Don't accept the bare minimum.
But we didn't see it going anywhere.
Oh, this one I have to disagree with.
Shaking while I munch it. What? What does that mean? Why is that a red flag? Is that saying they're shaking from pleasure when you give head?
That's what I read it as.
So it's a red flag for someone to be
enjoying. Well, if they're over enjoying it, like faking.
Fair. That seems like experience. Go on.
I disagree with this one. Being the ugliest in her friend group. That's just mean.
That's just. Why are you dating them then? That's not a red flag. That's just nasty.
That's mean. That just means you don't love them.
Yeah, absolutely, because you wouldn't even be looking at the others.
Yeah. Long distance relationships.
Yeah.
Bad communication.
When they talk to guys called Jacob. What does that mean? Who is Jacob?
Jacob has probably done... It's all the fucking J names, let's be real here. We've all been done wrong by a J name.
Yeah. I'm very much traumatised to this day. Goodness me.
Gaslighting, controlling behaviour, not handling small inconveniences, anger problems.
All your friends hate him. I'm sorry, if all your friends hate the guy that you're dating, talking to, there's probably a reason.
No, but...
Some girls are haters.
Yeah.
But if you've got good girlfriends who have your best interest, like...
But you could change your friends' opinions on it. Like, there might be an irrational... I know I'm slightly biased in this, because the guy I'm going on a few dates with, all my friends are against.
Including me.
Including Lily.
But I don't know him. You just told me a load of negative information and presume that I'm not going to be, like, ill.
Look, there's some good points as well.
What good points have you ever told me about this man?
He used to treat me very well. For context...
Plural. No, sorry, not plural. Past tense. Plural.
For context, all my friends hate the fact that I'm kind of rekindling stuff with my ex at the moment. And went on some dates. But, that's what I mean, like, sometimes your friends are overprotective and you can change their minds around.
Yeah.
Could be right people, wrong time.
Totally. And I think, like, with my friends, I can manage that as well. I've got particularly, like, my best friend, Ellie. Oh, my God. She is so overprotective in the best way. But I can, like, level her down. But equally, if Ellie hates someone, there's probably a good reason. But then I've got another friend who levels it out, you know? So I take the mediating opinion.
Okay.
That's what you got to do.
Lack of trust and jealousy. They don't like your friends. Is openly a narcissist.
Anal.
Lack of communication. Love bombing. Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, don't.
Love bombing. Last podcast I went on a bit of a rant about love bombing.
It's so frustrating. But the thing is, I actually don't think most people know that they're love bombing.
All I think is, don't say you love me unless you actually mean it.
I know. But I think sometimes they genuinely do believe it.
Look, unless you know what love is, don't say I love you to someone. Or no forehead kisses.
Men.
No, none of that shit.
Say kisses.
No forehead kisses.
Oh.
No love bombing. No forehead kisses until you are sure you love someone. Because that shit is manipulative as fuck.
And also, men, don't think that forehead kisses are attractive if you're not giving the signs of, like, sincerity and consistency and security. Because I've had a guy, like, literally flirt with women in front of me. We stopped talking over it, and I was like, absolutely not will I deal with this. And then when we were saying goodbye, they tried to kiss me on the head and say, keep in touch. That wasn't a move. That's, like, weird, you know? Reserve the forehead kisses to people you really like. It's not giving. Because I'm sorry, at the end of it, all the girls are just going to take the piss out of you anyway.
Yeah.
You're going to get ripped in the group chat.
Unhygienic, yes. Like, bad breath, big no-no for me.
Oh, my God. And do you know what? Like, I've really noticed, as you go forwards in university, obviously people decide to smoke at university and try new things. And by the time, in first year, it's fun, it's cool. By the time you get to third year, it's not so fun anymore because... How do I not be mean? I can smell that you smoke. You know? It does make some people's breath smell pretty bad.
Yeah.
And that is a red flag in the end because... Yeah. Without being mean, it's everyone's choice and it's an addiction as well. But if that stops you, then there you go. It gives you bad breath. But that's no new news.
A guy that texts you only after 11 p.m?
Ugh. Absolutely. Don't pick up after 12, in my opinion. Never respond after 12. Like, in the early days, of course. Like, once you're sincere and together, fine. But I think, like, in the talking stage, never respond after 12.
Yeah, you're asleep. Yeah. Even if you aren't, you're asleep.
And also, like, you have to give boundaries to the other person to set up a good relationship anyway. And secondly, it's kind of like, you need them to miss you in some ways. And that's the perfect time to, like, not respond. That's the only acceptable way to, like, not respond, or when you're at work. But if you're just not leaving people on red for 12 hours, then that's not fair.
Yeah. Perfect. And having dating apps for social reasons. Not wanting to take photos.
Oh, interesting.
Lies. Wow. There's a lot of red flags here.
What do you think about if they follow loads of girls and guys on Instagram / other social media?
I think it depends.
I think there's context.
Context. For example, like there's some people I know who are very into social media. They're like, every single person you look at that's at the uni, they follow them. Yeah. Like, and there's someone else I know that every single girl at the uni you look at, they follow. But they're two very different people. Yeah. But the context of you probably know what.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely
do. The context is very important.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it just depends, doesn't it? I mean, in a university environment, like, you meet a lot of people. And I also respect a man who can have female friendships because I don't believe that... I understand having boundaries with female friends, but also if you can't have friendships with females, then I just don't believe you respect women. You only see women as relationships or objects. Do you know what I mean? If you can't see a woman as a person and just a friend, then that's a bit problematic, because what are you going to do when they go to work? Like, there's going to be a woman next to them in the seat next to them. They're going to be shaken. They've never spoken to a woman before. Like, it's silly. Yeah,
that is true. Wow, it's been very interesting and fun reading through all of these. And, yeah, it's quite interesting to know what Essex Uni thinks about sex and relationships.
I think I've just exposed myself a little bit. Not too much, right?
No.
It's fine. My future employer will definitely never see this. I post it on LinkedIn.
You know the weird thing is, right, so I went on a job interview recently where one of the questions was like, when have you ever done a marketing campaign? And I talked all about S.H.A.G Week and the S.H.A.G Week podcast and even put YouTube videos to the podcast.
Oh my god.
And do you know what was I thinking? I don't know if they watched it, but now I'm deep in the fact that I went to the interview and they probably watched the podcast where...
Do you know what? It gives you something different.
Yeah.
A little bit different from the usual, and you know what? Personality higher.
Exactly.
You know, people want actual fun people coming into their organisation. They don't, like, of course you need people who can work well, but if there's someone who seems a lot more fun than the rest, that's good for workplace culture. So, you know, Nifemi will bring shag podcasts
Everyone.
to every single workplace she goes to.
No. But literally, do come along to or any of the other Shag Week events we have going on. And just remember, like, keep talking about sex and everything, because let's break the stigma. Because there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah. And thank you, Lume, for joining.
Of course.
It's been really fun having a little chat. And see you guys later.
Bye, guys. Keep safe.
Safe is sexy.
I'm going to do it at that camera. Bye. See ya.